You've seen what the Model Y is like during the day, but what's it like to drive at night? Alright, we're about to do the light show in the Model Y for the first time, so let's see how we go. So if you didn't know, one of the coolest features you'll find in a Tesla at night is the light show, which basically flashes the lights in sync with the music. And the cool thing about doing it in the Model Y for the first time just now is it showed us just how much brighter the tail lights are compared to our 2021 Model 3. You also get larger turning signals with the more recent Teslas, as well as dual reverse lights, which is a welcome change from the single reverse light we had in our previous Model 3. I also love just how Tesla are constantly making small improvements to these cars, basically as they're just rolling out of the factory. When it comes to the headlights, this Model Y features the new Matrix projector headlights, so you'll notice that they're nice and bright. You can actually go in and adjust the height of the headlights too, although this is meant to be done by a service technician. The high beams are excellent, which is great for us driving late at night on country roads in basically complete darkness. There's no street lights, so having really good high beams makes a massive difference if you live in the country like us. Unfortunately, however, the auto high beams are still not amazing just yet, and you do actually need to have them turned on in order to use Autopilot at night. So just keep this in mind, because sometimes they go a little crazy turning on and off, but the good news is they should continue to get better with future software updates. The other thing about these headlights, which will improve with software, is finally unlocking the full capability of that Matrix LED technology. We have the hardware in the lights, but we're still waiting on Tesla to introduce the software. And if you're driving on dark roads like us at nighttime, don't be too concerned if you're seeing an alert pop up that your left camera is blocked. That's basically just the software freaking out because it's so dark and the camera can't see anything. Now that's enough about the outside of the car. Let's move to the interior because Tesla have done a really great job at designing the interior lighting. The LEDs flood the cabin without being overly bright. Also, the white seats really help to spread the light across the car. The 2022 Teslas also come with ambient lighting in those front footwells, which is a nice subtle touch. You can switch that on or off in the settings, as it can be a bit distracting when driving on dark roads at night. The frunk also has a light which comes in handy if you're picking up some late night takeaway and you don't want the car smelling like pizza. And then the most impressive and noticeable lighting at night is this rear boot. The single LED does such a good job, and it may seem like a really small thing, but coming from a Mazda CX-5 that has this tiny little light in the boot, this actually makes a world of difference. Now, when you are driving at night, I've mentioned this before, but essentially there's no other lights in the interior of the car apart from that central touchscreen, and it is a bit of a strange feeling because you realize there's no heads-up display, nothing behind the steering wheel. It's all very dark, so that takes a moment to get used to. But once you do get used to that, it's nice in a way because there's no distractions. You've just got that middle screen and then the rest is like eyes on the road. The touchscreen does have quite an excellent dark mode that you can set automatically to turn on when the sun goes down. The auto brightness on that screen is also really good. We've never really had to manually adjust it. One small thing while we are talking about the display at nighttime is when you have dog mode on, which we've been using quite a lot lately since we got the Model Y, the dog mode screen is bright white. And it actually draws a significant amount of attention to your car, which is actually the last thing you want when you've got the dogs in the car. You kind of just want people to walk by and not really notice them. So I'm hoping that with a future software update, Tesla will just switch that dog mode screen to be able to go into dark mode as well. Another very specific scenario is if you take your Tesla to the drive-in movies and what settings you need to use. I actually made a video on this earlier in the year when we took our Model 3 to the Dramana drive-in, so I'll link that video below. A few other small things to mention: the doors have LEDs underneath them, the storage compartments in the doors also do, which is nice. The cameras do a really good job at nighttime, much better than any other reversing camera I've seen. Sadly, there isn't any lighting around the charge port, so often I find myself having to use my phone torch to plug in at night. And then lastly, a small perk of driving an EV late at night or early in the morning is that it's completely silent and you don't have to worry about waking anyone up. Anyway, I hope you found this video interesting. Not something you typically see on YouTube. Also, apologies that the footage was also grainy, unfortunately. The reality of filming at nighttime can be quite tricky to get a nice, sharp shot. Anyway, stay tuned. I'll catch you guys in the next video soon.